Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we are making a model kit, part of my model kit series. I'm doing this again. I haven't done this in about a year, but let's see if it gets better. I want to do this more. Today we're making the Pegasus Hobbies T-34-85 Soviet battle tank. It's a medium tank used during World War II. Alright, never mind. It's a Soviet medium tank with an 85mm gun based off the original T-34 design, used in the late parts of World War II, Korean War, and kind of so on, and still used a little bit by the North Koreans today. This comes with two kits and two T-34s inside this kit, but I'm only going to make one. I'm short on time, but I will be doing a full paint and everything and all the steps to it. I have more things lined up, such as a M4A3 76, but with the later or earlier chassis, such as on the M4A1, and a P61 Black Widow. But I'm doing a full tutorial on this and how to do this. Well, it isn't a tutorial; it's just a walkthrough or whatever. Kind of like Bob Ross, but with model kits. I really enjoyed making model kits, and recently I got a lot better. I don't know why recently, but suddenly something worked. But I'm going to be making this today, so let's go through it then. Today I will need, or my preference or what I'm building today with, two paint stands is my main, well, not paint stands, gluing stands is my main one. I can spin it around and stuff. There's a second one that I used before, but this is used. I literally made out of like a piece of wood in 7th grade, and I've used it since. The glue we will be using for I like to have this hanging around. This is Elmer's rubber cement. It's definitely not made for this, but I've been using it probably. The first model kit I made, I used this glue, and nothing wrong happened. It's good for turrets and things that need to spin. This is the Tester's liquid cement. This is a really nice glue, kind of almost out of this, but I have a second one. It's really good, however, though it's bad on paint, and could easily wash away paint, so I used this for pre-painted things, and this is very fast drying glue and very good. This right here is something I found at IKEA. It's for like a jar or something, but I like it because it has the ability that you can put like pieces of stuff that you like, small pieces inside here that you need to put together. We have a knife. This is a little red pocket knife. I don't know where I got it, but I quite like it. It's not too sharp, but it's sharp enough to get through stuff. But it's not an X-Acto knife. I don't have an X-Acto knife, I just don't like it. However, though, I have these nail clipper things that are very good for, you're supposed to use them on your finger to, like, get rid of hangnails and stuff like that. But it's, very good for, like, little piece removing like that. Very precise. Come on. Next, I have tweezers. This is a pair of tweezers that I, got a Hobby Lobby. Metal, wood, very nice. Tough force though, but good for picking up stuff, moving it while painting. This is some sort of, it's made in Palestine. I know that. It's a dentist used these. Another pair of tweezers, angle on it, but it locks at certain angles and how hard you want to clamp it, and stays locked, so you can literally just move it around, stuff like that. Or you can have it open, use it as whatever you want. Not missing any tools. I'm missing one thing. Come on. If for whatever reason we do have super glue and also a hot glue gun, I don't like using the hot glue gun as much, except for filling in things that need to be filled in. But I also have a multi-tool. I had this for a long time, kind of worn down, but I like it. has some little tools on it, files and stuff like that, but it also just has these main snipper things. Very good. So that's what we'll be using today to make the model. Get the model out. Let's see, does it have... Yeah, it does come with the back thing. So we'll use the knife to cut into this and get going with it. Sorry if I don't speak, I'm just going to be really concentrated on this. It's like unwrapping a Christmas present. Alright. Throw this away. There's my trash can. Alright, let's open up the model kit. This is not as detailed as the other ones, but I still will build them. And I have more detailed ones going on the way. Disclaimer. Alright, let's figure out, so, here's, I'm going to move all these pieces away. You know what, let's get another box out, or tray. Alright. Yeah, I have about one of everything. In this box, kind of get the instructions out. Now remember, I'm only building one of these kits today. I'm going to build the other one in my free time, but this luckily has more pieces than I was anticipating, so it should not be boring. You have instructions, pretty simple, only one card. Come on, it's hard to focus on it. But yeah, pretty simple. Just put the things on. Tracks already assembled. That's what I hate, is those little track links that are really small. You have to put them all together. Okay, so let's start. Well, we already have our hull, little edge on here. I want to get rid of. Alright, that part's gone. I'll start with this, and this is love his. Okay, so now we're getting the top part of the turret off. The reason why this turret was made was for to fit the larger 85mm gun, and also fit a third crew member, the tank commander or gunner. It really, they just made the tank command. Yeah, they usually just added another crew member to make the like ergonomics of the tank work better. Here's the bottom part of the turret. This is the gun mantlet. I'm taking off right here. This goes around the gun and adds protection for the gun. Now I'm removing the hull. The reason why the hull is called the hull is because in 1915 and 16, when the British were developing the first tank, the Royal Navy was in charge of the land ships, so they all have tank land ship or ship terminology. Like right here's deck, like engine deck, all that stuff. Hull. Machine gunner support. This is a very World War II and not really World War I, but World War II design. Designed for clearing infantry using the radio operator. Got taken away after the war. External fuel tanks for carrying all that Russian diesel. And we're moving off here. So the reason why the T-34-85 was created is because the Russians needed a way to punch through the armor of the Germans, such as the Panther and Tiger, and not really the Tiger II, or Koning's Tiger, but definitely the Tiger I, to penetrate through that, punch through that armor. Because T-34-57 and 76 were definitely not doing it. And yeah, we're just having we're not as effective as they were in 1943 and 42, during early stages of Barbarossa. Here's some just external tracks, just in case, whatever. I cannot tell what these pieces are right here. This is probably a box to keep, yeah, this is a box so the soldiers can keep the extra ammunition or food or whatever they want there, like personal belongings. Here's a saw, so that for whatever reason they need to cut down a tree or cut something, another box, but smaller for carrying smaller things than the bigger box. Right here are the exhausts. Exhaust pipe, like, protection shield covers right here. Next we have the hooks for transportation and putting on rails, or putting on railroads. My biggest fear is that I'll break a little piece like this. I hate it when that happens, especially when you get like a new model kit that like you really wanted to build. Pieces being stubborn. Try to go this way. But I like to build 1 out of 76 scale model kits because I just find it more fun to make than larger ones. I don't know why. But I like the detailed ones. I don't like the little undetailed ones. But like I built this Tiger 2 like 3 years ago that I really enjoyed. That was still 1 out of 76, but it was actually like really detailed. This is the headlight right here. I don't want to break this. Alright. Everything is removed from this. Throw this piece away. Next is the, let's do the tracks next. Or let's just quickly remove the gun here before we forget it, the 85mm gun. To this side. Next we'll remove the tracks. Went to Tank Fest this year, as you saw by the video. That was really cool. I just want to do all these little pieces. So, a funny thing about the Russian tracks is there's only a bolt on one side. For the T-34 tracks, there's only bolts holding on the track links on only one side of the track. So, as it's driving along, to keep the tracks from walking off, they, Russian engineers literally put like a hammer-like thing on the side of the hull of the tank to whack the pins back in as it's driving along, which makes that clacking noise as famous for the Soviet T-34 as it drives along. If they didn't have that, the tracks would walk off and disconnect from the tank. So that's Russian engineering. Just instead of adding bolts to the other side, literally just, you see, Ivan, we just hit track with hammer to make sure it not fall off. It's a very good design. You know, all these things didn't even have like a service life of that long. They just break or get shot or be destroyed by the time that would actually become a problem. Alright, here's the commander's cupola. The hatch is open. I do have a Russian tanker's model, so it would not be that weird. But, that's nice. Move this way. Or, I think they have actually a closed one also. Maybe. This right here. No, never mind it. Just one. Oh, for some reason I didn't think they had a second cupola for the gunner. These wheels, easy to take off. You can normally just twist them around. And they just come off. Let's just do that. Has some points on it. Let's see it. Remove that. Unfortunately, I do not have Russian green, so we will need to use just olive drab. I know it's not really accurate, but it is just the olive drab that Americans used. But it's still close enough. And I'm not going for like museum level things, I'm going for diorama level accuracy. The unfortunate thing about the T-34, though, that I will point out right now, is if you're the gunner, here, I'll just put this piece in right here. If your tank was shot, you could have your chance of survival next to none, alright? I just put this piece in right here just for demonstration. But here's the driver's door, or hatch, and he can easily get out this way, well, not easily, but compared to everyone else, it's pretty easy. Turret, once again, 2 big holes right here. You can get out easily. So you're pretty safe that way. However, though, if you were the gunner, or radio operator, well, not radio operator, just machine gunner, you'd be pretty unlucky, though. You don't have a door to get out. There's nothing up here like the Shermans for you to get out. You're just gonna sit there and hope that you can crawl over the transmission to be able to get out. It is a death trap. Everybody calls a Sherman a death trap. If I need to, I will go on a very long video explaining why the Sherman was probably the best tank in the war, and it had such high survival rates. Like, everybody says, oh, you died. They had, like, alright? I'm not going to go into this now, but the Sherman was probably the best tank in the war. For the war, not a battle, but, alright, never mind. Just, anyway, you were unfortunately going to die if you were the driver, or not driver, radio operator. I'm so used to say radio operator, machine gunner, that's what I mean, I'm sorry, for going on that tangent, but, you have no hatch there, so I guess you die. The T-34 was a very, very Russian tank. During Stalingrad, not specifically this type of T-34, but T-34s were being rushed out of the factory in Stalingrad and being crewed by the factory workers. And literally just sent straight to the front line from the factory because the factory was the front line. So, yeah. Pretty gnarly. Yep, I have all the pieces off. Just check. Alright. We will now begin building the T-34. Step 1, we need to put... Alright. Step 1, we will need to put all the road wheels on, so... Start with... Alright. These 2 pieces? So, yeah, sure. You want an example of the green we'll be using, that's the olive. I don't know what, here's another example. Pretty similar. Alright. 5. Put the smaller pieces on first. Originally, this is a small enough thing. I also have some model kits that I have not yet painted yet that I would enjoy painting, and maybe I can even paint it on a camera for stuff. But I'll be going through a whole thing, weathering, well, the weathering that I know, mudding, putting... Well, I cannot put weathering, but I can put, like, wear and tear on it. I don't know how to do, like, really good weathering yet, but I'm not that good. But, so let's start with this glue, the testers, plastic cement. Just be careful because this does kind of melt the plastic a little bit. So if you have Yeah. Just don't spill it everywhere, and do not keep the plastic inside of there. Your plastic, your model will be ruined. Come on, get in there. Alright. Next up is the rear sprocket. Put the drive wheel down just now. We have the wrong piece. No, I don't. Strange. That's pretty strange. Anyway. Next, first road wheel. The Russians came up with a system of having rubber around the road wheels so that to protect the steel from debris that might have gotten caught in the tracks. Many people, though, credit the Soviets with the idea of sloped armor. It was not invented by the Soviets. The French had it. The French used it actually a lot. So did the British some, and the Americans. Germans didn't like it for some reason, but because they didn't like it, everybody credits the Soviets with coming up with it. It wasn't like some gift from God that, like, the designers came up with, but it was a good idea, but it wasn't... So many people overcredit the Soviets for many things that were already invented and the Soviets just used. That's like crediting, like, I don't know, Donald Trump for buying an iPhone and saying that he invented the iPhone, even though he didn't make it. And that's not like an anti-Trump or whatever. That's not anything like that. That's literally just like... It's like crediting, like, I don't know, like Bill Murray for, like, coming up with the idea of, like, the computer because he bought one. Alright. Road wheel number 1 is done. Move on to number 2. Pieces. Sprockets and sprocket and drive sprocket. 4, I believe one piece is right here. 5, alright. Now with this one. Alright, back in the rear sprocket. A little bit dab of glue there. Cover it up with the paint for any of that smearing, whatever that might happen. Road wheel's pretty good. I'll just dab some right here. Over right here. It's on there, right? There it is. Sorry for the janky camera setup. I can't figure out a better one. I have like 3 lamps on my desk. Normally have one. Trying to compensate for the weird lighting in my room. Yeah. The camera. I'm using my GoPro. For some reason none of my cameras will work. I want to get a better camera. For this kind of stuff, but yeah. I have the microphone set up, so the audio would not be bad. But alright. Sorry if I also sound nasally. I'm probably a little bit sick. Well, I was sick yesterday. I probably still am. Alright, now the hull, or the chassis. It's kind of mixed into one with this piece because the chassis is like right here. Torsion bar suspension. And the hull. Not torsion bar. I'm not sure what it has. I'm sorry if I'm not correct on that. I believe it's torsion bar. I know the Germans had torsion bar, and it's like a different type. Alright, this goes around this side. So let's start out with this piece. All this really good wiping down. There, that's on. I'll also give you guys a good tip on making tracks look better. Alright. Those are on level. Close this so I don't spill it all everywhere during my keyboard. Over the insertions, we're now halfway through. Now we're assembling the turret. Get all those pieces out. What piece should I use? Do I have open turret? I can make the good weather. I really don't know. I don't know. I guess I'll go with the solid or closed one. Yeah. You know, maybe if I don't glue it, see how well they stick. Switch it out. Oh, they don't stick at all. I don't know. Just go with the closed one for now. I hope... I don't know. The problem that I face. None of you know what it's like. Alright, so I have low... Alright, so... Yeah, I have gun, mantlet, lower and upper. Alright, I'm all good for that. We'll put the gun here now, T-85. Alright. The guns and what's that set? I'm gonna put the cupola, I don't know how to pronounce it, up here. Alright. So see what I mean though, so that the loader and gunner can get out either side, really. Tank commander can get out easily, and loader can get out easily. Tank commander right behind, whatever. So, really, if you are that unfortunate radio operator, I keep machine gunner. I mean, you're out of luck. I don't even need to glue this. This is nice. It stays in. Alright. Just in case, make sure it's at a good angle so it's not weird. Alright. I recently just built a Panzer III that looked really good. Alright. Set the turret out to dry as we finish this part up. There's the turret, as you can see. I'll demonstrate the difference between the two T-34s in the end with a one that I built about 2.5 years ago. You can see also my skill is increased and gone forward. So let's just glue these two parts on. Yeah, I can do that now. First model kit I ever built out of my own was 2 Pack 40 cannons. I never painted them. I painted them recently, like yesterday, but in the same skill level that I had like 4, I don't know how many years ago when I made them. And they just spray painted, and just, yeah. So they're not that great, but I did that kind of as like an homage because I never got to finish them. For the machine gunner next. Alright. Happy little light. DP-28 there. Alright, next up, let's put the hooks in. Transport. I forgot to put those hooks in before. Underneath. There? Oh, okay. My bad. I need to put those. Kind of where those. Alright. Let's try this. I want to break it. Maybe if I snip off a little bit of the end. Safety wood. Alright. Glue is evaporated, so let's put some more down. Was that woman in like South Korea or Russia or whatever that took that T-34-85, but then like covered it like a disco ball? Made it pink. Makes me sad. Belongs in a museum. I'm Indiana Jones. If anybody can send me the links to some good 72 scale tank model kits, I really enjoy that. Yeah, I enjoy that. And if anybody knows how to get a Tallery model kits in America, I really like that, please. I don't know how to do that. Well, I know how to get some, but they're not. How do you get the War Thunder model kits in America, if you even can? Right here. Flip it around. Put these in. Alright, next one. Right here. Good. Alright. That's good. Let's add the saw. Let's put the exhaust pipes inside the back. I really enjoy how quickly this glue dries. Very nice glue. Michael's sadly got rid of it, or at least the one that is near me. So I gotta drive all the way out to Hobby Lobby. It's pretty far away, like half an hour away to get some, but I have two things. Quickly put on that headlight before we forget. I'm completely cramped up in here, like, the wall is like right there. Camera's right up here. So I don't have much space. I'm doing it for our model kit. Good. That's in. So the fuel tank's next. How do these goes in? Yeah. Alright. Wow. Back on there. I had a nice conversation with the chieftain at Tankfest about, what's it called? Modeling and stuff like that. He gave me some hints. Alright. So for some reason, this is not, the fuel tank's not going all down all the way, but it actually makes it look more real. These Russians don't actually have any quality when it comes to, making T-34s during wartime, so it looks more, actually pretty good. Just gonna take all these pieces out so I don't forget them. Track links, that stuff. There's the saw. Alright. Put this away. Is that out? Oh, there's the extra cupola. Put this down here. Sorry, that's a garage going off. Put this over here. Actually, no, I'm gonna put all the rest of my spare pieces. I was building a Stug. You can see here, it's pretty sad, but then the part that really snapped it. So I just really scrapped it. It's really sad. I really enjoyed it. only Stug was only model kit was only $2 at Tank Fest though, but and I have another one that I'm still kind of working on and painting, but it's kind of sad. So let's get. Oh, here's the saw. Okay, saw goes right here. All right. Also, can somebody give me some hints on how to make how to remove paint from the paint brushes in like a good way? Not really good at doing that. So these tracks go right over here. Also, while modeling, make sure you have like a good, like, surface to work on that's not going to get ruined. Because I started out, I didn't have something, so all these scratches and stuff on my desk. But yeah, make sure you have like a good surface to work on. I don't like paper. I don't know why, so I just don't use it. Alright, this box goes over here. And we're almost be done with this part. The actually assembling of the model. Next would be painting. So let's put this part over here. Over here. Last piece. Where did it go? It would be sad if the last piece I missed. Come on, get out. Probably should have. Can't remember now. You know what? I'm not gonna put this piece on. I'm gonna put it somewhere else to make it look more like personal, or I can't really get it into there because I think I was not supposed to put that piece on. So I'm gonna put it right here, maybe, on the engine deck. Like, what should be better? Right here, maybe. Over here. Yeah, I think over here is a better option. I'm gonna put this right. Alright. Alright, okay. Next so here's the finished hull. So exhaust port, struts. It does not have the detail of the hammer underneath or the piece of metal, but yeah. I'm impressed how detailed this is for a small model. Now let's put the turret on and boom! Here we have a T-34. Next up will be making the painting and stuff like that. So up next, let's get our painting stuff out. Alright then, our paint stuff. Alright, next we have our paint on. So what we're going to throw up into the for the chest behind you, right? First of all, this is no photos because I have original. It's all changes or food but next, also needs to let you go back. We have our poster, not only just recommending but the other. And then we're going to we have silver. I would say that we fish super basic close to that. We'll use this all red and hang the closer. This is the black for the funnel details. And then put on these some for one hand up, so I do one fish for a 10. Actually for that, it's about this. I'm going to use this one, so we go. This one, this will be for like the silver one, so then that's it's one is usually on something like this. These are about 10 use, or partially all over me, that's no, this right. So, Somebody over there. Right. Whatever. And what are the things I've done for sure? I suppose not. No, wait. Machine gun. We're done with there. Nice. Yeah. That's the next would be single test. But it's trying to you have to really take all sides out. Not hard and stop it, and you really start talking about I suppose maybe like it. Also such stuff. You know this. Okay. I would you do it and straight. Think about not plastic. So that's great, that's what happened. So that's more did so you there with you know you're saying like this idea or you can do another then is so what I guess this is from as well. This is very sorry. Very nice job. See that's not true. That's not true. No, not here. Or chassis. We're putting price. We're putting price this. And it's I think price use. We'll put it auto. If you have it on need it, but listen. We'll put first low for your own something. Tomorrow sudden we'll cancel that. And he's on that. That's certain. Right. I think that's interesting here now. Yeah, no. Good idea, but try to spray it. Alright, thanks. Don't be right here. Going to be starting to reserve. Here's that. Here's that. Oh, wait. Where go? Let's go. Better look. Let's go. No, everything goes here. No, he doesn't. I tried to email all my people. That's right there. Alright. Oh, so good. Blessing. Trying to know. It's not a safe sound. You know, it's rough. It's on. We're going to play. That's right. What is that for? This makes right now. Here's all this. Alright, so these. Okay, that's no. But have to. Don't have it. Okay. Okay. We'll use the value. So I'll take some more of this. Hold on. These are all good. All good. That works. Sir? Good. There you go. Alright, there you go. That's very all good. In front of this 40 handle to it, we're mid-swap under. So it's directly home. Before swap is, we're mid-8. Mid-swap, like number 18. There's more. Okay, okay. Pushing to that. Go back. We're on the side. You want some shit or see a shot. Right. There's no because why not. I don't think about it. I don't know, but I think it's fun. Really fun. Alright. And we guys done. Okay. And now that the paint's dried, we can put the turret on, and there we have it. This is the a very dirty Soviet T-34-85 model kit. I built very detailed, muddy, that kind of stuff. You see all this stuff where Soviet infantry would get on and off. So there you have it. If you like more of these, please like and subscribe in the video. And a sneeze. Oh, well, I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Well, yeah, so please like and subscribe, share with your friends, please give me feedback, on it, and tell me what you think. This is not the best model kit I made, I don't know why, it just didn't turn out the way how I hoped, but, well, the paint didn't, just, still pretty realistic looking though, just very muddy. I wish I had the tan that I normally like to use. works better. But, yeah, there we are. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.